President Biden says a ceasefire in Gaza is much closer than it's ever been, but that it's not there yet. Negotiators will meet again next week to try to finalise an agreement between Israel and Hamas for a ceasefire and also the release of hostages. It comes after the funeral of a 22-year-old Palestinian man shot dead when Jewish settlers stormed his village last night. The attack took place in Jit in the north of the occupied West Bank and was condemned by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Our Middle East correspondent Lucy Williamson reports.
No one knows who made Rashid Sedda a village hero, who shot the young IT worker as he threw stones to keep armed Jewish settlers at bay. But they know who to blame.
Even the ambulance that came for him was blocked by the army. They waited until he died. The blame is more on the army because they are not controlling the settlers. They protect them.
His mother said she didn't know if it was a settler or a soldier who fired the fatal shot. Rashid's brother Mahdi took me to where he was killed. The village boundary fence, broken in several places. A neighbour said dozens of settlers gathered here last night and that he heard a hail of gunshots. He said he called the Israeli army, who took 2 hours to arrive. The army said they deployed within minutes. Residents say the settlers were masked, armed and organised into groups, some dressed all in black, some all in white. Hassan was at home with his family when they came down this road. His surveillance camera caught the moment they confronted him, setting fire to his car and entering his family compound.
They were all armed, with automatic weapons, light weapons, pepper spray. Their attack was organised. They had a clear goal to kill or burn. Here we are, unarmed. They have the government supporting them. We have nothing except ourselves.
Israel is under fierce international scrutiny over settler violence in the West Bank. Israel's army says it has launched a thorough investigation into last night's attack. Those gathered for Rashid's funeral prayers had little faith in justice.
The body of Rashid Sedda is leading a procession of anger through the village of Jit. People here trace this violence right back to the behaviour of Israeli security forces and the policies of Israeli politicians.
A Palestinian village surrounded by Israeli settlements, distrustful of Israeli forces, burying their anger along with their grief.
Let's join Lucy in Jerusalem just now. And Lucy, there are ceasefire talks underway. What's the latest on those?
Well, we've heard that the US Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, will be travelling here on Sunday to give a push to those ceasefire talks. And that comes after the release of a joint statement from the international mediators who are leading this process, including the US. They've described the talks over the last couple of days as serious and constructive, said they were taking place in a positive atmosphere. But it's not clear exactly what substantive detail has been agreed. What is clear is that there's enormous international pressure on both sides to go the extra mile this time and sign a deal.